What is going on, everybody? Jets, Eagles. Going to be calling Gangrene David in a couple of minutes. Just trying to figure out this internet situation. Everything's all pretty good. Everything's reconnected, and I'm about to call Gangrene David because he's at work, I believe. So let's give Gangrene David a call so we can get this preview prediction out of the way because he's pretty happy of the news he's heard in the last 30 minutes. So let's give Gangrene David a call. Okay. Maybe he'll pick up.
What up, dude?
Yo, what's up, man? You're live on the stream.
I'm live? Awesome.
Yeah, you're live.
Oh, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? This is Gangrene David coming at you live on Nitro Freaks channel. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going great. I'm just ready to whoop up on your New York Jets. It's going to be a great Sunday afternoon. And, yeah, I'm going to be really satisfied when it comes 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
I think that's going through the mind of every Eagles fan, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, since this is a game I've been looking forward to for 4 years now, considering that I wish I could be previewing this in a much better circumstance where we have a better record and we weren't badly injured and our quarterback didn't deal with mono. This could be a much more different this could be a much better scenario where this could be a potentially more competitive game, but
right.
There's so many obstacles, like at least from a Jets fan perspective, like going into this game. I'll let you get into it first. I mean, granted, because this is your stream and this is your team, and you guys have home field advantage.
Correct.
Obviously, there's a lot. You guys are coming off a phenomenal win. What are you thinking?
Well, what I'm thinking is I actually had us losing the Green Bay and losing badly the Green Bay. Now, Carson Wentz showed me a lot of poise when he came out of that Green Bay game, throwing for 3 touchdowns to 160 yards. He looked like he's been doing it for like 20 years, that one game. And I'm very proud of what came out of that game on the offensive side of the ball. We ran the ball perfectly with Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders. Everything was clicking, especially on the road, 4 days rest after a bad loss to the Detroit Lions at home. The problem that I have and what worries me about Sunday, if Sam Darnold plays or if he doesn't play, the problem that I have is that our secondary is the worst in the league. And by the worst, I mean it is the worst in the league. We have Craig James, Rasul Douglas, and who is the other guy? I'm trying to think. It's some bum. It's Craig James, Rasul Douglas, and I'm trying to think. I can't think because it's just not clicking right now. But our secondary is really bad, and it's really, really weak right now. We are the 32nd ranked secondary in the NFL as it stands right now. And it kind of worries me because I feel like Falk's going to have a career game when I know he's not that good of a quarterback. And I know you've seen Falk against the Pats, and he barely did anything, but that's the Pats defense. The Pats defense is probably the best in the NFL. So I'm trying to put 2 and 2 together. Is Le'Veon Bell going to have a great game? Is Falk going to go off for a career game? Is he going to check it down to Robbie Anderson the whole game? We don't know, all right? But the thing is, I want to know if Sam Darnold is going to be prepared to play if the coach decides to put him in come Friday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. So I agree with a lot of things you said. One thing you touched on, and I definitely watched you guys. Yeah, I watched you guys play last week, and I think being without Deshaun Jackson, Carson Wentz, as good as he looked and as poised as he looked, he only threw for 170 yards?
160.
Yeah, he had 3 touchdowns, and they were found on touchdown passes. He threw a great touchdown pass to Alshon Jeffrey. They were all those touchdowns were pretty much all in the red zone.
Yeah.
Where you also had one on a swing to Jordan Howard. He hit Dallas Goedert on a slant, and then he hit Alshon Jeffrey deep in the goal line. So
right.
I think going back to that Packer game, I think the run game really boosted your offensive production in terms of where your offensive production increases a whole, and now their offense became more unpredictable to the sense where the Packers defense had a difficult time adjusting and really kind of come up with a clue. And of course, the Packers' run defense is kind of iffy. I mean, they allowed Dalvin Cook to run for a 75-yard touchdown when they played the Vikings.
Yep.
So your run game went off. But however, on the Jets' defense side of the ball, C.J. Mosley will probably not be playing this game. I think that's definitely going to be a huge blow.
Well, that's what a lot of people in the chat are asking if he's playing, and you're the Jets fan. I don't really check into the stuff like that, but C.J. Mosley apparently is not playing according to Gangrene David, so that's huge.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, considering that C.J. Mosley's been out with a groin injury since week 1.
That's big.
And it's definitely worse than we expected. And I think according to and what I heard from Adam Gase's press conference earlier today, he's still rehabbing that injury. So I think having him in the game would have been a huge factor in our defense, considering that right now our secondary is not much better either. I think we're ranked 27th. I think we're ranked 27th in pass defense right now in terms of our secondary. Because look at our secondary. Jermaine Johnson, who we gave $72 million to, $45 million guaranteed, is now playing fourth-string reps.
Yeah.
He played 8 snaps in the Patriot game. He played 8 snaps. That is absolute garbage fire.
Terrible.
And we relied on this guy to be this potential shutdown corner. We relied on this guy to be this press corner. Now, I gave that guy the benefit of the doubt last year because of the press coordinator that he actually played under, considering that he was complete trash.
Right.
But if you're playing under a guy like Greg Williams, believe it or not, is doing what he can, especially without C.J. Mosley. Like, I got to give Greg Williams props. I think he's the only coach on our team right now that actually has an idea of what he's doing.
Right.
But I think on the defensive side of the ball, the Jets, while they're ranked 27th against the pass, considering that their corners are absolute question marks. I mean, the guy that they got from the Texans, Nate Harston.
It couldn't be any worse than our corners right now. I mean, Avonte Maddox is out. Sidney Jones, we don't know if he's playing. Right now, we have a guy named Craig James, who I've never heard about in my life, and that's complete trash that we have on the field right now. But
yeah, right.
At least we're facing a guy, your quarterback right now, who apparently isn't very good.
So I think going into this game, I think having Deshaun Jackson out, like I know I've seen Eagles fans say, "Oh, you don't need Deshaun Jackson in the game." But the thing with this is the Jets, they're ranked 8th against the run.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually somewhat of an upside to our defense.
So you're going to shut down the run.
They're ranked 8th against the run.
Okay.
So one key to the game on defense is we gotta shut the run game down, because that Green Bay game, I think the run game, like I said, I think it saved you guys. It got your offense to become more unpredictable. If we shut down the run game, Carson Wentz got to start throwing the ball, and then it comes down to our pass rush, because we're without our best pass rusher. Quinnen Williams is now back in the game, which the fact that we're relying on a rookie defensive tackle to make plays against an established Eagles offensive line, it's head scratching. Like, are we going to get after Carson Wentz, a guy who is really tough to bring down, especially since like the guy can escape the pocket really well. Like, the guy is huge and he has massive strength as a quarterback, and he's tough to bring down. So I think the key on defense is, are we going to be able to kind of keep the consistency up with the run defense?
Well, I'll tell you this, and you brought up a lot of good points just now. In this game, Vegas projects us to win this game by 14 points. Now, a lot of what you just said, it would incline me to actually take the Jets on the points, because if you stop our run game, Carson Wentz in the offense, passing wise, has been very suspect this year. And Jordan Howard finally found his groove last year against Green Bay. But Miles Sanders, he's either off on, you don't know, because he's a rookie.
He's still a rookie.
Yeah, he's a rookie. Exactly. Yeah, and it's like, if you shut down a run, we're going to have to rely on the passing game. Now, Alshon Jeffrey came back, but Zach Ertz doesn't look the same as he did last year, because I feel like teams are like zoning in on him a little bit more and having other targets go out and try to create space, which makes sense. But at the same time, it's like, we need Zach Ertz to step up, because he's supposedly a top 2 tight end in the league. And he's kind of, in my opinion, he's been kind of, not on a milk carton, I will say, but he's been kind of like iffy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because what I want to see on defense is, like, I want to see our safety start playing man-to-man coverage. Like, if I'm Greg Williams, I'm starting to scheme up a little bit where Jamal Adams has been phenomenal in the box. Jamal Adams stands out, one of the best safeties in the league. Yeah. So if I'm Greg Williams, I have confidence in my safety. I have confidence in my top guy. I line him up one-on-one with Zach Ertz. Yeah. And you can start playing 3 safety outlooks to where you can still have 2 safeties in there, and you could have safety start playing up against the line of scrimmage where you have a physical one-on-one with man-to-man coverage because, let's face it, Alshon Jeffrey, he's a legitimate number one wide receiver when healthy. He's a big body guy, great in the red zone.
Catches everything.
Yeah, he can catch everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Deshaun Jackson being out with this game, knowing that like he was that deep threat to your offense, and like my concern is that if your offense starts attacking deep, our secondary is going to have a tough day because our corners can only hold so much for so long.
Right.
So I think on defense, I think it comes down to make the Eagles' offense more predictable. Have Carson Wentz throw the ball. Line up Jamal Adams one-on-one with Zach Ertz, and hopefully, being without our best pass rusher, Jordan Jenkins is dealing with a calf injury. You're gonna have to hope that you enact pressure on the quarterback because that'll probably be our only chance we have defensively is if we stop the run game and we can somewhat kind of rattle Carson Wentz around a little bit. Now, transit. So that's my keys defensively.
You're going to have Carson Wentz go out to his right and get completely off balance to succeed because last week in the pocket he looked pretty damn good. So I mean, and he's going to be back home. And, his last home game wasn't very good.
Yeah, coming off a phenomenal win on primetime football against an undefeated team, like that's definitely momentum building.
Yeah.
That is 100% momentum building. And if I'm an Eagles fan, I'm definitely excited as hell about Carson Wentz because I live with an Eagles fan. Like my brother's a huge Eagles fan as well, and he loves the hell out of Carson Wentz. Like, he knows. He tells me all the time how legitimate of a guy he is, and like I watch the Eagles all the time because, like I said, my brother's an Eagles fan, and Carson Wentz is like knowing what he's battled through adversity wise. The dude, like in the pocket, the dude has phenomenal zip on his throws.
Mm-hmm.
His decision making is consistently improving.
It's funny. It's funny you just said that with the
arm is there.
It's funny you just said that with the zip on his throws because there's sometimes where I actually question how fast he does throw it because sometimes I'm like, yo, dude, tone it down a bit because the receivers are having trouble catching the ball because he's throwing it so fast.
Right.
Yeah, he throws a quick ball.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like Carson Wentz is your guy. Like, know for the fact that Carson Wentz is your guy. And know that like he will be your quarterback. And being that I've been out with my quarterback, Udamano, like, and knowing how like backups should be winning in this league, like I want to see my quarterback continue to grow. And that's kind of what I want to talk about next, because on the offensive side of the ball, the main story relies on Sam Darnold. Is Sam Darnold going to play against the Eagles? This entire shtick has just been tricky with Mono.
Right.
And like being that like this is supposed to be a year where Carson Wentz, Sam Darnold was supposed to take that next step as a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He like I was expecting him to take not the same exact leap, but like sort of a similar leap to what Carson Wentz took, because bringing in Le'Veon Bell was supposed to be that guy that was supposed to be that playmaker for Sam Darnold, a legitimate playmaker. Because let's face it, there weren't really any wide receivers I was too high on. And the Bills signing Josh Brown and Cole Beasley, it's helping Josh Allen with the passing game for them.
Right.
So I think now Sam Darnold coming back, like a lot of people are in fear that because I understand how tricky this whole situation is, and the main concern is his spleen, and like from a reality perspective, like. You would kind of have to think this is definitely concerning if he goes back out there, because if the spleen is not up to par, then it could rupture. Like it's dangerous stuff.
Yeah, and he'd be done for his career.
But knowing the direction that it's been going in, this is like a lot of people are thinking that Gates has been playing games with the media in regards to this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think more or less like. A lot of Jets fans have been going to that foregone conclusion that he's not playing, which I understand. Like, they want to be cautious with the kid, but if the dude's cleared to play, then he's cleared to play. And as a fan, I'm going to be excited as hell when he comes back, because at the end of the day, just like Carson Wentz is your guy's quarterback, Sam Darnold is my quarterback.
Yep.
He is my quarterback, and I want to see him grow, because I love the dude coming out of USC. I love the fact that we drafted him. And going through all the adversity he's gone through with a terrible head coach in Todd Bowles, a trash offensive line, and now dealing with this whole shtick. He dealt with an ankle injury last year. Now he's dealing with mono. The dude, I love the resilience he has as a quarterback because when he came off that ankle injury, he played the best 6 games of his career. He went toe-to-toe with Aaron Rodgers in his rookie year and almost won, believe it or not.
What was the score of that game?
Not a lot. It was 44-38 in overtime.
Ooh.
Like, not a lot of people can say, like, a 21-year-old rookie quarterback going head-to-head with Aaron Rodgers in his first year, like, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, that's phenomenal. Like, I know, like, people are like, oh, but, Carson Wentz did the same thing with Rodgers, too, and he actually won. But Sam Darnold was a rookie compared to Carson Wentz now being in, his 3rd or 4th year?
Mm-hmm.
But Darnold going into this game, Sam Darnold, if he gets cleared to play, which I hope he does, because, well, you mentioned how your secondary has been struggling at best.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, at this point, gives us the best chance on offense. Gives us the best chance to compete on offense. And I think Sam Darnold coming back can give Adam Gase the confidence to actually finally get his head out of his ass and start being aggressive with the play calling. Because let's face it, Adam Gase, with his ultra-conservative play calling and his dinks and dunks and overusing Le'Veon Bell, has just been ridiculous.
A shit show, yeah.
It's been terrible. So on offense, if Sam Darnold comes back, being that he gives us the best chance to compete in this game, my key on offense going into this game, knowing how your secondary has been struggling, and I'm fearing that, granted, because you guys have established pass rushers like Brandon Graham and Derek Barnett, I think Adam Gase, now, if you have your quarterback back in, maximize your resources, because a lot of people say that the Jets don't have talent on the team. They have talent on the team. They're just being wildly misused, especially Le'Veon Bell.
Absolutely.
Like we brought in Jamison Crowder from the Redskins. We have a guy like Robbie Anderson, who is a phenomenal deep threat. You have a guy like Josh Bellamy, who you brought in from the Bears. You maximize your resources, spread the ball around, and use your playmakers, especially with Sam. Use his talent. Have him roll out of the pocket. Let him extend the play. Let him be in that comfortable position to make that play and score some points. Keep the drives going. Don't be throwing screens on 3rd and 9. Actually throw the ball past the line of scrimmage, whether it's a slant route. Throw the ball more than 50 yards down the field. Like, if your quarterback comes back and you're that confident in your quarterback, Adam Gase, you got to be aggressive with the play call. You got to maximize your resources, and you got to have Le'Veon Bell in a more balanced situation rather than have him carry your entire offense, because that becomes more predictable to where the Eagles shut down Le'Veon Bell, and then all of a sudden we're gonna have to start passing the ball, and there you go. Like it can become a crap show, because Doug Peterson can actually really adjust pretty fairly.
Yeah.
Very well. So I think overall on defense, you got to stop the run game and make the Eagles' offense more predictable. And I think on offense, if Sam comes back, knowing that he gives us the best chance to win, we got to maximize our resources. We got to spread the ball around. We got to get our guys involved, especially Robbie Anderson, Jamison Crowder, Ty Montgomery too. We brought him from the Packers. We got to maximize our resources, and I hope to God Sam comes back, because he's the best chance we got to win.
Well, yeah, if Sam comes back, you'd have a decent – well, I'm not going to say you're going to win, but you'd have a better chance to win. There's someone in the chat saying, who the hell else do we have as a playmaker besides Robbie Anderson and Le'Veon Bell? And he's saying that Robbie Anderson doesn't go over the middle and he runs the go and then the comeback. And he's pretty much saying that he's – not a bum, but like an average wide receiver. And he's saying just to like basically pound the rock, which I don't disagree with.
I mean, like, I can't say just pound. Like, no, don't pound the rock. Like, just don't pound. Obviously, pound the rock, but you also want to get the ball to Le'Veon out of the backfield. Like, Le'Veon goes to line up out wide. So, my point is just use your playmakers, maximize your resources. Robbie Anderson is obviously a sideline kind of guy.
Right.
Like, He's obviously trying to prove to more that he's more than just a one-trick pony. He runs a really fast go route.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not a perfect wide receiver. I think he could develop into an above-average wide receiver, but I think throughout time, I think him and Sam Darnold can develop a really great chemistry together. But going into this game, if he's matched up one-on-one against Rasul Douglas, who's been your best corner, if Rasul Douglas starts pressing him, I don't know how good of a press guy he is.
Rasul Douglas has done actually a decent job. Right now, he's our best cornerback on the field right now. So I mean, he's going to do a pretty decent job, but we're going to have to rely on him heavily, or else we're not going to be able to do stuff. We're not going to be able to have we're going to get torched. It doesn't matter who's on the field as a quarterback. I haven't seen Falk play because I'm not really that interested. But at the same time, any quarterback with time, and if the receivers create separation, they're going to get exposed. A fucking high school quarterback could throw a dime to an exposed wide receiver,
Oh man. Well, yeah, I feel you on that, but again, it comes down to how Adam Gase manages the offense. Like, if he's running screens and dinks and dunks, then your defense is gonna have a field day.
Yeah.
So like, this could be a game to where either our offense steps up or your defense steps up. But one way or another, it's a huge test. Like, I think it's a huge test for both teams to where we could see, like, can the Eagles boost their defensive production tremendously, or can the Jets offense, if Sam comes back, can they get back on track? Mm-hmm. I think that's the key. But I know a lot of Eagles fans probably in the chat right now are saying, "Oh yeah, this dude doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, dude, just admit that you guys gonna get blown out." Like, I get it.
No. I mean, they're not downing you at all. Actually, they're basically just saying they're talking about Darnold and all of the weapons that they don't have. But at the same time, you're breaking down a Jets team that doesn't really have much, which is great. You're going the ins and outs with it, and that's what you need. That's what I need. Someone to come on here to explain why your team can possibly win the game, even though they might not, and you're doing just that. So it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm not saying we're gonna win. But, like, I think Darnold playing, like, I want this game to be competitive. I want this game to be exciting because, like, I've been looking forward to this game for a while. Like, I've wanted to play. Like, ever since you guys won the Super Bowl, I couldn't wait to play you guys again.
Yep.
And I know, and yes, Eagles fans, I know that you guys we've never lost. We've never beaten you guys.
Yep.
You guys are 10-0 against us at all time. I know that. I know that for a fact. But, like I said, going into this game, it all comes down to if Sam comes back, he gives us the best chance on offense to possibly even be in this game.
Absolutely. I agree.
But if I have to give a final prediction, with Darnold, I would say you guys take it 34-20, like I said in my original prediction video. But I think without him, I could see it being easily like 41-10.
Wow, 34-20 with Darnold. That has the Eagles covering the point spread.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, that's all what I really wanted to talk about.
All right, brother.
All right, well, thanks for having me on. You got those of you Eagles fans in the chat, sub on my channel, Gangrene David. I am a diehard Jets fan. I know I've been covering a trash team the last 3 years, but I love making content. Definitely go sub up Nitro Freak if you haven't already. It's awesome as hell. It's been an honor doing this with you. It's been an honor previewing this game. Hopefully, I can come out to Philly for the game. If Darnold plays, I probably will be out there. And best of luck to you guys on Sunday. Best of luck to you Eagles fans. It's like it or not, I'm looking forward to the game, regardless of the circumstances. And I can't wait till the post game recap. You gonna come out here or no? Like I said, if ticket prices drop and if Sam Darnold does get cleared to play, I will be out in Philly. All right. But anyways. I'll see you later. I'll talk to you later. And go Jets, baby. Jets, Jets.
All right. See you later, bud.
See ya, dude.
All right, cool. So that was Gangrene David. Go sub him up. Jets fan, diehard Jets fan. As you may have seen or heard, that guy knows what he's talking about when it comes to the New York Jets because the New York Jets, everyone knows the New York Jets suck. All right, they're absolute trash water, and he just went detailed in and out about the team, and the team is not good. All right, that's what it takes to be a sports reporter. That's what it takes to be a YouTuber on YouTube when it comes to sports. That guy knows what he's talking about, and he's doing it with a garbage team. That's what I had to do from 2011 to 2016, I'm going to say. I was on and off with really bad teams, and it was tough. So that guy knows what he's talking about. So go sub him up, Gangrene David. And, yeah, let's get to some of your comments here on YouTube. All right, I'm going to go to the top because, obviously, there was a lot flying. Danny Travis says, who wins the World Series? I'm going to have to go to the Yankees. They're the most top-to-bottom team in the league. Everyone's back and they're healthy. And Scott Robinson says, it's your favorite person. What's up? Yeah, I guess you're my favorite person. I mean, you come on my chats every single time and troll the fuck out of me, so whatever. Fly Eagles Fly. Peace 85 says, I have Green Bay by 3 and Pats 52, Redskins 3. Wow. It's huge. But I can't disagree with that. Nicholas Pass says, what's up, Nitro? What's up, Nick? How you doing? Philly Jim says Orlando Scandrick. Oh, and Philly Jim, by the way, Gangrene David is going to go on to Philly Jim and what's his face? Joey Shakes' stream, I think at 11 or 10:30 when he gets off work. So definitely go check that out. That'll be interesting. And yeah, it's Orlando Scandrick. That's why it didn't come up because – I was saying Craig James, Rasul Douglas, and Orlando Scandrick. It didn't come up because Orlando Scandrick's so bad. That's why it wasn't coming up. What's good, man? Stitch9 says. Snitch9, that's hysterical. What's up, man? Eddie Taylor says, what's up? What's up? He says, is CJ Mosley playing? According to Gangrene David, no, he's not playing. So that's big. He's a good player, so that actually helps us out. Darnold's out probably. Eagles 01 says, Nitro, I made a 17 parlay today. What do you think? 17 parlays don't usually hit, but if you give me the teams, maybe I can tell you if it's a good bet or not. Go Leafs go. We have a Toronto Maple Leafs fan in the house. Hockey started tonight. Love hockey. Can't wait till the Flyers begin. Should win, but not taking anyone lightly. Fly Eagles Fly says, yeah, I agree. Loopy says the Jets need a whole new O-line, except the guy from Oakland's been okay. I need receivers badly. Defense need corners who doesn't, and they need a real pass rusher. Leonard Williams is a bust. Wow, big words there. Leonard Williams is a huge bust. He was supposed to be a stud. Hey, that's 2 people saying that now. We go down just a little bit. King Manuel says J.J. Arcega-Whiteside needs to step up for y'all. Yeah, he does. He's a rookie, but everyone going into this year hyped him up, and he's kind of been on a milk carton. So I want to see a lot more from him, especially because Deshaun Jackson isn't on the field, and we need all of our targets to produce. We need him to step up. I'm calling him a top 5 defender. I don't even know what he's talking about. What about Quinnen Williams, the guy that they just drafted from Bama? Yeah, he's supposed to be a stud. I think he's going to be a stud down the road. He's hurt. Luffy just said he's hurt. Quinnen Williams will be a good player. I've seen a lot of highlights of him in college. Yes, he will. He was like a top 5 pick, I think, this year, right? Yeah. What's wrong with him? Who would you rather have, Ramsey or Harris on the Broncos? Oh, it's easily Ramsey. But I think right in our range right now, I think Chris Harris is more of a possibility than Jalen Ramsey. I don't think we're going to get Ramsey as much as I want him. Who should the Jets get rid of at the deadline? I don't think it really matters at this point. Sam Darnold is good, but no line. The protection is the worst. Yeah, that's why I had high hopes on the Jets this year, because Sam Darnold is a quarterback, and Sam Darnold is a very talented quarterback. But a lot of people like to shy away from that because he's on the Jets and there is no talent, So they automatically think he's a sucky-ass quarterback, which I don't understand. Troll Patrol says, we need to run the ball, defend the pass. Those are the keys to winning this game. Our offense should be fine if we could catch and hold on to the ball. No turnovers. I agree. Can't disagree with that, buddy. Let's see. Matthew Walsh says, pound the rock. We can, but they have the 8th, according to Gangrene David, they have the 8th run defense in the NFL. So if we can't get something going there, we're going to have to rely on the receivers and Carson Wentz's mobility. And honestly, from what I've seen in the beginning of the year with Carson Wentz and the receivers, it's kind of ticky-tacky. You don't know you're going to get. So we need to get a good run game established if we're going to do anything. I think we're going to win regardless because the Jets just don't have the talent. But if they're going to pound Le'Veon Bell and he gets through the holes, it could be a game. I'm just saying. Adam Gase is terrible. Yeah, Adam Gase isn't a good coach. I agree with that. Just saw you guys are alive. The Eagles are going to go on a roll and go undefeated the rest of the year. Art Makepeace says that. Bold prediction. Shit. Loopy just said, just a tip. Can you start doing picks and college and pros? I could do picks during this stream if you want. Like I could definitely put on like I could write them down and then say what I think's a good pick or not. I mean, I have a little notebook right here, so yeah. Eagles 01 says Ravens -3.5, Cardinals money line, Packers money line, Auburn -3, Ohio State money line, Rams money line, Bills Titans under 38. I mean, thing about the Ohio State money line that jumps out to me, Eagles 01, is that I said on the show, on my Monday show, that I actually have Michigan State upsetting the Ohio State Buckeyes, and they're 20.5 point underdogs. And Michigan State to me is a tough, gritty team. And Josh Fields on Ohio State really, I mean, he's good, but he hasn't really faced a gritty defense yet. And I just feel like this is a game where he could get exposed, and I think Michigan State's going to upset them. So I don't like that Ohio State money line pick. I'm sorry, I just don't. I think Dillard would be good. They're talking about Dillard. I learned you bet a lot. Wait, I learned a lot of betting from you. Laugh out loud. Yeah, thanks, bud. I could do picks if you want. I mean, if you want some advice, I can give some advice. Best overall team in the NFC East right now, I'd probably have to say the Cowboys, top to bottom. It pains me to say that, but you know, you have the quarterback play. You have the best running back in the division. Well, not really. I think Saquon's better, but Zeke is definitely one of the best backs in the league. Amari Cooper. You have one of the best lines in the league. Defense, linebackers. I mean, they have it all. They're the most balanced team. But it should be interesting. October 20th, when I'll be in Dallas, will be the first time we'll play them. So it should be interesting. Who do you like NFL and college? Anything stand out? NFL this week. I'm going to look for you right now, actually. Let's do our picks right now. Anything stand out to me right now when it comes to the NFL? Let me check it out. All right. NFL picks. All right, Rams and Seahawks tomorrow. That's too tricky. I can't do that one. All right, hold on 1 second. All right, NFL. All right, Vikings -5 against the Giants. That seems like a lot of points. The Giants +5 could be a play. The Eagles -13 could possibly be a play. I'm trying to look. Let's see. Cowboys at home -3.5 against the Packers. Aaron Rodgers absolutely owns the Cowboys in Dallas. I'm going to go with the Packers with the upset in my lock of the week. Packers +3.5 and money line it. I think the Packers are going to beat them. I think that's a game where Aaron Rodgers plays pissed off, poised, and they just kick the ever-loving shit out of the Dallas Cowboys. I could see that one. How many bets do I make per week? Not as many as I do during college basketball because that's my favorite. But yeah, I mean, Mike Moran, I could see the Giants pulling off the upset against the Vikings. Like Kirk Cousins stinks. Kirk Cousins absolutely stinks. And you know, I was watching him play against the Bears. I know it's the Bears defense, but that guy sucks. Like I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened to Kirk Cousins. He used to be serviceable at best. And now he just looks like a trash can. So it's so weird. Am I full-time better? Nah. Team Triple G says, how about those Niners? Yeah, they look good, man. You have a tough test against those Brownies, man. Better be ready. Minnesota needs to draft Jake Fromm. Yeah, if they could get up that high. I think he's projected top 10. He sucks. He sucks against the Giants historically as well. Yeah, well, he used to be on the Skins. He's talking about Kirk Cousins. He was only good with McVay. Loopy said that. Yeah, I mean, McVay's a good quarterback coach. Although I think Jared Goff's kind of overrated. I'm not going to lie. I don't really like what I've seen out of Jared Goff. If you look at the way Cousins was only good when McVay was a coordinator, yep. And Sergeant AR-10 says Jets are sneaky. I mean, sneaky might be the wrong word because, I don't think there's anything on the football field that I'm scared of when it comes to the New York Jets. I'm sorry, I just don't. Like the New York Jets are just that team that comes into Philadelphia once every 8 years, gets steamrolled, and then walks out. They're one of those teams. I'm not scared of the New York Jets. Do I think we're going to pound them this time? Probably not. Probably. I don't know. But the point spread is 14 for a reason. Vegas knows best. But, yeah. I'm texting someone. Hold on, guys. Okay. Here you go. All right. Those Cowboys proved their haters right Sunday. Yeah, they looked bad. On Sunday, they looked really bad. Which coaches will be fired during the season or after the season ends? My top coach getting fired is obviously Jake Gruden. Jake Gruden doesn't even want to be there anymore. He literally said in his pregame press conference that he doesn't know who he's rolling with at quarterback, and that's just not a good sign. My other one would be Dan Quinn on the Atlanta Falcons. Dan Quinn, after that Super Bowl loss, and Kyle Shanahan leaving, and he was obviously the man for the job when it came to the 49ers coaching job when it comes to Kyle Shanahan. When he left, Dan Quinn just forgot how to coach. And Dan Quinn is just – I'm not going to say he's a bad football coach, but he's definitely overstayed his welcome there. So Dan Quinn's going to get fired at the end of the year or in season. No, it's Sergeant. Dan's gone. It doesn't matter if the owner loves him. You know, once you lose a Super Bowl being up 28-3 and the consecutive years after that, you lose in the divisional game to the Eagles on the last play, then you completely miss the playoffs. I mean, there's nothing else to say. Like, you're not going to go up from there. His time is done, and I think he's the next guy out the door. Darth Vader says, why can't the Eagles scouts go get serviceable corners from college? Pass defense is a major issue. Well, it's going to be even worse because our guy Joe Douglas is gone. The guy that evaluated talent while Howie did the cap. And now that Howie is going to do the talent evaluation, I don't think it's going to go as good as it did before because Howie's not a talent guy, he's a cap guy, and people fail to realize that. Loopy says Dan Quinn will always be a bum for blowing that Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't realize this, but a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl should be automatic. It doesn't matter who you're facing. That should be automatic. And the offense that Atlanta had that year, I don't know how they gave it up. Because how do you just stop scoring points? Like, I don't get it. The Patriots defense wasn't that great. How do you just stop scoring points in a dome nonetheless? It's just so weird. Chrono Cowboy says, what's up, Nitro? Is there a cornerback you want besides Jalen Ramsey? I mean, if we didn't get Jalen Ramsey, I would go Xavier Howard or Chris Harris from the Denver Broncos. But I really want Jalen Ramsey. Really want Jalen Ramsey. But we need a cornerback because our cornerbacks that were trotted out there this week, they're not going to cut it. Craig James, Rasul Douglas, and Orlando Scandrick, not going to cut it. And we're in a bad situation when it comes to their cornerback position. But it happens sometimes, you know. It wasn't that great going in, but my boy Avonte Maddox, hopefully he's not – thank God he's not paralyzed, you know. I love Avonte Maddox. Scott Robinson says Yankees Cardinals World Series. I am saying Yankees Braves. It makes more sense to me. Ben Barillis says hot take. Greg Schiano becomes the head coach of Rutgers and takes Rutgers to a national championship game within the next 10 years. I like that hot take because Greg Schiano was always Rutgers. Always Rutgers no matter what. He was the guy for the job. He was the one that upset Louisville on that primetime game when Ray Rice, Brian Leonard, Mike Teal, Jeremy Ito, that team was amazing. I thought we were going to win the title game that year, but it didn't. It wasn't meant to be. Greg Schiano is the man for Rutgers, and Rutgers needs Greg Schiano. He needs to come home, and I don't disagree with that hot take. I really don't. I really think if Greg Schiano comes here, we'll start getting the recruits because they'll want to play for him because Chris Ash was a fucking goof. Like, Chris Ash was an asshole, like a huge, major asshole, and nobody wanted to play for him. He didn't know what he was doing. He sucked at coaching, didn't get recruits because they didn't want to play for him, and now that he's out, get Greg Schiano. People want to play from. You're in the Big Ten, and you'll start winning. When you're losing by 30 every single game, it's like, what? Why is the guy still here? He's a problem. It's like it didn't make any sense to me. Nicholas Paz says the Dolphins gave Xavier Howard a contract extension. Yeah, but they could always trade him. I could leave out hope for a trade because that team is definitely in rebuild mode. They're not going to win in the near future, and I don't see it happening anytime soon. So he could definitely be traded. Penn State has no shot. Penn State actually looks good this year, and I hate Penn State. Joseph Cerrone says, I think Howard would fit well with the contract. I don't really know what that means. Run the ball. I'm trying to think. Run the ball, Isaiah says, yep. We ran the ball last week, and we won. Who do you think will draft Tua? Who's ever number one? That's who I think will draft Tua. Scott Robinson says, would you rest Deshaun and bring him back for the Cowboys game week 7? Yes. I will be at that Cowboys game week 7. I'm going with the Green Legion. I would sit Deshaun Jackson for as long as we possibly can because I don't think I personally don't think it's anything to do with his abs. I think it has something to do with a sports hernia or a groin. And that's why he's been out. Our training staff is probably some of the worst in America, and it's getting exposed badly right now. Deshaun Jackson doesn't deserve this type of treatment. He really doesn't. And Deshaun Jackson might be having sports surgery after the season. Yeah, I just said it. What's up, Sports Live? We just went in on your coach Dan Quinn. We think that he's going to be out of here after the season. What are your thoughts on that? Already said, go Braves, man. Good luck to the Yankees. Thank you. Nicholas Paz says, I think Justin Herbert will get drafted by Cincinnati. I mean, I don't think Justin Herbert's that good, so that would probably be a great fit because Cincinnati absolutely blows every single year. WY2Fly says, what's up, Nitro? What's up? How you doing? Loopy says, we were just talking about your boy ATL. Yeah. I think Dan Quinn's as good as going. I really do. Bryce Blackwell, he's a regular on A2D. He says Herbert is pretty good. I disagree. He plays in the Pac-12. He's a senior. He doesn't have that raw talent. What it takes to be. What I mean by that, he doesn't have the raw talent to play in the NFL. Like he looks good in the Pac-12 where there's barely any defense. He plays for one of the more fast up-tempo systems in America when it comes to college football. He doesn't. I don't think he's going to transition well to the NFL, and I think he's going to be, in my opinion, a third rounder. That's where I'd pick him. I'd pick him third, fourth round. He probably could go late first, but third, fourth rounder, I'd probably pick him in because he's not going to be an NFL quarterback. He's just not going to be. If you want my true assessment on the guy, I think he'd be a bust right out the gate or a pure backup. That's about it. Sports Live and ATL says, very tough. Quinn has lost the team defense. Worse with him. Shame, we'll see. Yeah, when Sports Live says that it's very tough, that the coach might be gone, that usually is a bad sign and that the coach is usually going to be gone. Like when he doesn't really stick up for somebody, that usually means that they're going to be gone. He's so aggravated. Yeah, I mean, you guys beat us and then you just shit the bricks. So the NFL's weird. Joseph Cerrone says, thoughts on Kirk Cousins. He sucks. Those are my thoughts. Loopy says, Nitro said it best. Can't go anywhere but down after that Super Bowl. It can't go. You have to – if you're an Atlanta Falcons fan, you have to realize the downfall ever since that Super Bowl loss. All right? 28-3, it looked like you were going to get that Super Bowl title. My friend who's an Atlanta Falcons fan asked me in the third quarter if I would go with him to the tattoo shop on that Friday to get a Super Bowl tattoo. And he became a huge mush after that. All right? And this guy was so confident that, and this guy's not confident in anything, and 28-3, you lose 28-3 in the biggest game of your life. And then Kyle Shanahan leaves and you just go down, 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 down. It's obvious that Dan Quinn is the problem, and there's so many other people out there that deserve coaching jobs. And Dan Quinn, he's just been on the decline. Why would you keep him? It just makes no sense. Let me see something real quick. Sports Live says, your Eagles got a very bad football player in Duke Riley. Why would you guys want him? It's a pure depth move. I know he's a bust. He was a third-round pick from LSU. He's a linebacker that we kind of needed for depth if one of our linebackers were to go down. Our best linebacker right now is Nigel Bradham, and then we have Zach Brown. We just added him from pure depth. And plus, he came out of the SEC. He might have been a bust with you guys, but maybe we could have the coaching that can coach him up to maybe evolve into something. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, we took a chance on him. He sucked with you guys, but doesn't mean he'll suck with us. Loopy says, the lost is the kind of thing that haunts franchises for years. I feel you, man. Yeah. I mean, if that happened to the Philadelphia Eagles, be honest, Eagles fans. If that happened to the Philadelphia Eagles, would you be watching football today? Be honest. Because me, as an Eagles fan, if we were so close to winning our first Super Bowl, we were up 28-3 in the third quarter, and that happened, I probably would have retired from watching the sport, to be honest with you. There's no way I could live with that. There is just no way I could live with that. I don't know. It just goes to show you're just never meant to win. Ever. Period. That is the time you win. And if you can't win when you're up by that much, no matter who you're facing, you're not meant to win, period. And that's just God saying, I hate you. It just is. I'm sorry. Loopy says Dwayne Haskins sucks. I mean, he looks like a check down type of QB, but I'm going to hold the brakes when I say he sucks. I'm just going to hold it for just a little bit. I'm going to hold it. It says Cardinals, Braves preview. I say Braves in 4. It's a tough series. I think it goes 5. Could go either way. I'm going to say Braves because I think the Braves are going to go to the World Series. Grant says, on a Sixers topic, how far could you see them going with the pieces added this year? Championship. I can see them winning the championship. I think they're a more well-rounded team, bringing in Al Horford, his defensive presence, and the fact that he killed us for years. Now he's on our side. If Ben Simmons really has a jump shot, I feel he's going to be one of the more unstoppable forces in the league. We already have Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid's a monster. He's a unicorn. I think we could be the world champions this year when it comes to Sixers basketball. And I'm not being biased. I'm being serious. Last year, I thought we had no shot to win the title because we had no bench. This year, we had some bench pieces. We got rid of that bitch, TJ McConnell, one of the worst players I've ever seen in my life. We added some depth, and I think the Sixers are poised for a title run this year. And I really believe that. I truly believe that. And I don't really feel this way about any of my Philly teams. I really don't. But the Sixers just have that it factor. And I'm ready to go when it comes to the Philadelphia 76ers. I really am. I'm so excited. Because last season, that buzzer beater that I called just left such a bad taste in my mouth. And I want to get it out by winning the title this year. Because the Toronto Raptors stole our championship. We need that shit back. Great question. Great question, Grant. Nick Paz says, my cousin is a Falcons fan, and he was crying when they blew a 28-3 lead. Honestly, if you're a Falcons fan, I'm pretty sure you probably weren't doing anything when that happened. You're just in disbelief, pacing back and forth. You didn't know what to do. Sports Life says that 2016 season hasn't gone away. Still hurts, makes this worse. Yeah, it's dude, I don't know. I don't know how you still watch. I really don't. I couldn't do it. Speaking of Joseph Cerny says, wait, hold on, let me go up. Joseph Cerny says, speaking of the Falcons, they decide to play us, then shit the bricks to the Titans and the Colts. Yeah, it irks me because, and I agree with you, it says it irks you. It irks me as well because that's a team where I didn't think we'd have a chance to win in that atmosphere, and we didn't win. But at the same time, they're not a good football team. They lost 34-14 to Kirk Cousins. They're not a good football team at all. And it irks me because, you're going to be looking back at this, and it could affect seeding if we're in the playoffs. And those are the losses you look back at and be like, how the fuck did we lose to them? It's just one of those losses. Nicholas Paz says, do you think the Redskins should do what the Cardinals did and give up on Haskins? Funny you just said that. I don't think Josh Rosen is all that bad. I really don't. I've seen some of his throws that he's made in his last couple of games. It's not his fault. The wide receivers drop wide open balls. And Josh Rosen looks like he's settling in. if Josh Rosen had some wide receivers that could catch, I think Josh Rosen would actually be a decent quarterback in the NFL. I really do, and I think they should hold on to that guy. I wasn't a huge Rosen fan at all coming out of college. Like I really wasn't. I think he could be a really, really good quarterback. Sports Live and ATL says, I feel like I will never see my Falcons win the Super Bowl title. I don't deserve it. I mean, I do deserve it. Probably not. I'm being honest with you. If you get that close and you don't win, it's probably never going to happen, bro. I'm just being honest. Eagles don't do well when they get extra rest. Fortunately for us, Eagle Speed used to be Eagle Speed. It's finished Chico now. Fortunately for us, we're facing the Jets. All right, and I just don't see how we lose to the Jets. I don't. Sometimes I try to be a Debbie Downer. Sometimes I try to be negative. I don't see how we lose to the New York Jets. I really don't. I have a super chat real quick. Thank you so much, Slitta, Sports Live and ATL. Cheers on me, my dude. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I don't have a saying right now. I'm going to try to do these. I'm going to try to do these streams as much as possible. But I don't have a saying. I know Bad Dog has a saying. I know the Entertainer has a saying. I don't have a saying yet. But you know what? I feel really bad that you just gave me that because I was just really like hammering you away about the whole Super Bowl. But you know what? Hey, listen. Maybe your Braves will win the World Series this year. Maybe you'll have something to look on. And yeah, you know. But thank you so much for the super chat, my guy. And yeah, I'm gonna try to do these streams as much as possible. Thank you. Again, thank you. You didn't have to do that. Yeah, what was I saying? Eagle Speed says Eagles don't do well when they get extra rest. Unfortunately, we're facing the Jets, you know, because the Jets, you know, like I said, I'm always a Debbie Downer. I don't see how we don't beat this team. I just don't. It could be a 3-point game, and as long as we beat them, I don't care. Like, just get out of this game with a win. Get out of this week with a win. It's a non-conference game. It doesn't mean anything. Just win the game. Loopy says, like Jenkins and McLeod, he feels like he can get more out of them for cheap. Yeah, I mean, Jenkins is a beast. McLeod is a beast. But unfortunately, our fucking pass defense has been horrible. Absolutely horrible and decimated by injuries. So we'll see. Bryce Blackwell says, Simmons can't shoot. Well, that remains to be seen right now because you are right now. Matthew Walsh says Kirk Cousins is one of the biggest QB teasers of all time. I don't know what you mean by that because I've always seen him as kind of like a slant. Like he racks up a ton of yards passing, but he's never been a game changer. Like he always used to beat us, but he's never been that game changer. I know he had a season where he passed for 5,000 yards, but he never had that one defining moment that put him over the top. You know, he's always been that kind of guy that's just been there. You know what I'm saying? The Eastern Conference is wide open when it comes to basketball. Nicholas Paz says, I don't disagree. Who do you think will be in the Super Bowl? I mean, I'm going to go with the Eagles just because I had them as my preseason prediction, even though I don't necessarily believe that. But I'm going to go with them. I think they could get hot as long as they get like Ramsey or Chris Harris or something like that. They need another cornerback. I just don't see a team on the NFC side that we can't beat because we just beat Aaron Rodgers, who we've never beaten before. So I don't see a team we can't beat on the NFC side. Now the Patriots are another story because not only do they have one of the best quarterbacks of all time in a Super Bowl setting, they probably have one of the best defenses in recent history this year. It is scary how good they are. And I just don't know how they do it consistently. They lost Matt Patricia to the Detroit Lions, and they don't miss a beat. It's like, how the hell does this happen? Every single year, I don't get it. The coaching trees just come in line with this team. And Stephon Gilmore, in my honest opinion, if it's not Jalen Ramsey, it's Stephon Gilmore, who's the best cornerback in the league, because that guy is so shut down. I don't understand how the Bills gave up on that guy so quickly. I just don't. And it's just crazy how the Patriots do this every single year. It's just nuts. Sports Live and ATL says, I believe my Hawks will make the playoffs. We're up and coming team. Yeah, I mean, the Hawks, you have Trae Young. Trae Young's a beast. You know, he can shoot the three well. He can drive the lane well. You guys are definitely up and coming. I will give you that. I want a Trae Young, to be honest with you. Can we please stop talking about the 28-3 choke? Yep. Hey, listen, you gave me a super chat. I'm gonna stop talking about it. No one else asked me questions about that Super Bowl that the Falcons lost. Don't do it. I can't do it anymore. David was nice to me. He gave me a super chat. I'm gonna respect it. All right. And plus, it would hurt me if that ever happened to me. The Colts are trash. They got beat by the Raiders. You know what? I have to give the Colts the benefit of the doubt because when Andrew Luck retired, everyone thought they were going to be bad anyway, but they've come out hot, to be honest with you. It was a bad loss to the Raiders. I understand that, but yeah. I mean, honestly, I can't really say much because I thought they were going to be worse than they are. So I can't really say that. I have a super chat by Blake Forsythe. He doesn't have a message, but thank you so much, Blake Forsythe, for the super chat. Have a great night, buddy. I hope you stay in the stream. And yeah, I don't know if you're a Birds fan, but fly Eagles fly, baby. Nicholas Pass says, do you think the Titans will beat the Bills on Sunday? No, I don't. I think the Buffalo Bills are a legit football team. And what I mean by legit, I think they're very well rounded. They just don't have the QB position balanced yet. I feel like Josh Allen is still coming into his own. He got a little bit banged up last week. And Matt Barkley coming into the game, and it was a 16-10 game. The Bills could have easily won that game. And, I think the Bills they have a decent squad this year. And I think a lot of people are looking past them. Sports Live in ATL says, no worries, Kyle. Talk about the Falcons is accurate. Yeah, but you know what? I don't want to dig it into I don't want to dig your sorrows into the ground. I don't know. I don't like doing that. If someone's feeling down about it, if they're admitting to it, it's just they're really upset about it, and I don't really like to. I don't like making people feel bad if it's not warranted. You know what I'm saying? Loopy says Roseman only pays safeties because corners are so expensive. He thinks that he can get that much out of Jenkins and McLeod. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. He also said corners are expensive, but you have to understand something. Besides the offensive line and defensive line, I personally feel the corners are the most important position on the field. All right, because the corner, they're a dime a dozen. You don't find corners every day. You could find a tight end every day. You could find a lineman every day. Well, a defensive lineman every day. You could find a linebacker every single day, a quality one. Cornerbacks, not so much. A cornerback has to cover, on average, 4 seconds on every play. I think it's 3.5 to 4 seconds every single play. And Jalen Ramsey can cover 5. So that's why I want Jalen Ramsey on this team, because this guy locks down half the side of the football field every single down. And it's just I miss not having a shutdown cornerback. I want one back. The last one we had was Samuel. And I love Asante Samuel. Kirk Cousins is the definition of average. I agree. Eagles secondary was good in the red zone in Green Bay. And they really weren't, though. When you look back at that Green Bay game, it came with a lot of luck, like that interception on the last play by Bradham that I thought should have been a pick six. It came with a little bit of luck. Rodgers still torched us, and that's one thing I'm looking at. He had 422 yards passing, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. The 1 interception was tipped, and it was whatever. That was his first interception of the year. He still torched us. He was still at home, and it's just one thing we got to look at and be true to ourselves, because our secondary, I'm not going to give our secondary credit because there's been nothing to give our secondary any credit on. Our secondary has been useless. It's been horrible. And that's why I'm stressing that we need to go get a cornerback like right now, because I want to make another run. And the defensive presence out there right now is just not good enough to make that run, because our offense isn't clicking the way I want it to. Granted, they started running the ball in Green Bay, but in 2017, you saw this offense that would dismantle other teams. You didn't even have to rely on the defense that much. This offense would dismantle teams because everyone was in such chemistry. Jay Ajayi, Corey Clement, even Wendell Smallwood. These running backs, they were all in chemistry. Alshon Jeffrey's first year with the team. Nelson Aguilar came into his own. Zach Ertz was an absolute stud. Everyone played like a band of brothers on that team, and this team is just yet to find that. And it's just tough. It's tough to predict what's going to happen with this team, but we need to get the better member on the secondary. Like, that needs to happen, and quick. All right. Nicholas Paz says, how do you think the Heat will do with Jimmy Butler? Average, maybe they'll win 35 games. Joseph Serini says, it seems like every year these corners get hurt and we are playing practice squad guys as starters. Last year it was Shaden Sullivan and Devontae Bosby, and this year it's Craig James and Orlando Scandrick. Yeah, it's pretty brutal, bro. It really is. It's not a lot of fun right now. Will Andy Reid ever win the Super Bowl? No, he won't. And it's not the sad truth. It's the I don't give a fuck truth because he never beat us. He never won a Super Bowl with us, so I don't really care if he does. He has potentially one of the best QBs on his team right now that we've ever seen. And the fact that they couldn't beat Old Man Brady last year in the cold at Arrowhead, granted it was an offsides call that I thought someone jumped off sides and gave Tom Brady a free play. If you can't beat old Tom Brady in that circumstance, in that situation, I don't think you're ever going to beat anybody for a Super Bowl. I just don't. I wouldn't mind seeing him win, to be honest with you. He was a good guy, but he's a loser. He's a loser. Real Talk Press says, you know how the NFL is. If you just beat Aaron Rodgers, who you've never beat before, probably means you're going to lose to the Jets, who you've never lost to before. And you have a good point. I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from you, Real Talk Perez, which is a Buccaneers fan, by the way, and they just hosed the Los Angeles Rams. That was a great game. I was watching that. Offensive juggernaut. But, yeah, you have a point. I mean, Real Talk Perez, you have a valid point on that, and good luck to your Bucs this year. Jameis Winston looks like he's coming into his own. And the thing about Jameis is, I've always rooted for Jameis Winston. You could tell right off the bat that he was so fucking immature with the whole, like, who wants to eat a W and shit like that. Like, it was like, what the hell is this guy doing? He's like a little kid. But he's coming into his own. He's maturing, and he's looking like a fucking quarterback now. That guy is looking like a quarterback. Jameis Winston is looking like a baller. And, that's something you need down there in Tampa Bay because I haven't seen Jameis Winston this good since his years at Florida State. I really haven't. And you guys have a quarterback down there that you haven't given up on him because Bruce Arians is coaching this guy up, unlike the last guy you had. I forget who you had, honestly, because I'm not really thinking straight right now. But Bruce Arians is fixing this guy up. And let me tell you something, that's going to be a dynamic duo for years to come. The Buccaneers have something special there, man. And I'm happy to see it because Jameis Winston, everyone was giving up on the guy. And he's a very talented, very, very, very talented player. Bryce Blackwell says, we're trying to get Ramsey, but the Jags are playing hardball. Yeah, of course they are because they're assholes. Jalen Ramsey wants nothing to do with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And, they're saying, fuck you. He could not play there all year and leave there scot-free with nothing, and they wouldn't care because they're assholes. That's why they're the worst franchise of all time. The owner wants to move them to London. Like, what's in London? There's nothing in London. Fuck London. No offense to anyone that lives in London. Hate the Bills so much, Nicholas Paz says. NBA wide open this year. Honestly, yeah, it's about time. No more Golden State to fucking bang your head against the wall on. Sports Live Nathan says, gotta go. Good luck to the Eagles. Go Braves. I'm ready for tomorrow. Later, Kyle. Thanks, Slitta. See you later. Dayton Graham says the Lions are looking pretty good. They are. They had that rough loss against the Chiefs last week. But, other than that, they're looking pretty solid. I'm not going to lie. Chrono Cowboy says, I'm worried about the game against Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers owns us and always destroys our hopes and dreams. In Dallas. And he's coming – not only that, Chrono Cowboy, he's coming in pissed off You never want an Aaron Rodgers when he's pissed off, like ever. Now, granted, their running back isn't that good. They have Jones, but that's literally it. You're going to be without Jamal Williams. The Cowboys could also bounce back. I just don't see it because Aaron Rodgers he's bad. Like he's just such a bad guy, man. Like Stephen A. Smith says, he's a bad man. That guy is fucking phenomenal. And I don't know how he beat him last week. I really don't, because in my honest opinion, top to bottom, if you're completely disregarding the trophies and the stats and everything like that, I personally think Aaron Rodgers is the best QB of all time. That guy makes plays happen when they're not there, and it's just insane what he does. He's not your system quarterback like Tom Brady when he throws to a wide open receiver. Aaron Rodgers throws it into triple coverage sometimes and completes the passes. And he does it consistently. I've never seen it in my life. But, yeah, I don't see Dallas winning that game. I really don't. I think that's a lock, honestly. All right, so where am I? Giants record prediction. I'm going to go with 6-10. I think you guys go back down to earth when you face the good teams. You faced you faced Tampa Bay, which Tampa Bay should have won. Let's be real here if the guy didn't miss the kick. And you beat a Washington Redskins team who everyone's going to beat up on now because the coach is just he gave up. So we'll see how you guys do against the great defense of the Vikings. They're going to be running the ball a lot because Kirk Cousins sucks. It should be an interesting test for you guys this week. What did Forsyth say? Is the guy that did the super chat. All right, Blake Forsyth says, "Fuck yeah, I'm a Birds fan, man. You're one of the most real Eagles fans. I've been following you for a couple of years now. I'd love to talk sports with you sometime." Yeah, anytime, man. Maybe I'll have you on sometime. I'm gonna try to bring on guests on the stream because I'm gonna do StreamYard down the road. I'm gonna be doing these shows, doing the chat for right now, but down the road with StreamYard, I'm gonna be inviting like other YouTubers to come on, and I'm gonna be doing 1 hour to 1 hour and a half streams like every Wednesday or Thursday or something like that. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. Darth Vader says Joe Flacco 0-4. What happened to Denver? It's not a good team. They're not a good team. Matt says hopefully we get Djax back for Vikings Dallas. Yeah, I think he's gonna come back for the Dallas game. That's what I'm hearing. Which NFL team do you think has the worst logo? Worst logo? That's a good one. Probably the Browns. I think the Browns is plain, boring, bland. I don't like the Browns. Loopy says Auburn or Florida? Auburn. It's an easy one, too. Auburn all the way. Bo Nix is that dude. You like Iowa to beat Michigan? Yes, I do. I think Jim Harbaugh's a stiff. Bruce Arians changed Wisconsin. Absolutely. Bruce Arians he's a great head coach. My buddy's uncle knows Bruce Arians from the days he coached at Temple, because my buddy's uncle was an offensive lineman at Temple, and Bruce Arians was coaching there when he was an offensive lineman. And every single time he came into town with Arizona, he would meet up with Bruce Arians before the game, and they'd say hello and everything like that. And Bruce Arians is not only a good coach, he's a good guy, and he's completely changing Bruce Arians. He's completely changing Jameis Winston for the good. And I love seeing stories like that. The Bucs are your sleeper team in the playoffs. Yeah, I could see them making the playoffs. I definitely could see them making the playoffs. They completely changed everything around. Bucs used to change the coach every year, but it wasn't his fault. Yeah, Jameis Winston's always been talented. Like, I think his maturity level was killing him. I think he wasn't mature at times, but at the same time, that's just him being a kid. But now he's growing up and he's realizing that he has a career now. He has a job, and I think he's making the best of it. I'm actually really, really proud of Jameis Winston. I really do. Christopher Tatum says it's something that doesn't really even matter. Philly Ace 21 says, "What is up, man? What's up, man? How you doing? It's been a awesome night." Joey, I don't know how to pronounce this. Joey Monteleone, my cook addict. Nah, dude. I mean, honestly, you could say whatever you want about the guy, but the guy looks like he's changing his life around, and he looks like a pretty decent quarterback, man. You have to give him props. Nicholas Paz says, "What do you think of Gardner Minshew so far?" Rookie of the Year. That guy is an absolute stud on the football field. And it sucks because my boy Nick Foles probably lost his job for getting hurt. And it sucks. Man, it sucks. But Gardner Minshew to me has been just a breath of fresh air. Like he really has. That guy's good. We'll love to be on the show. Yeah, Blake Forsythe anytime. I've been watching you since that feud with NY Giant Pride. Yeah, that was a while ago. NY Giant Pride hasn't been on here forever. If the Dolphins draft Tua, how do you think he'll do with them? I mean, I wouldn't give up on Josh Rosen. I really don't. The games that I've seen Josh Rosen in, I think he could be a good quarterback in this league. The mechanics are there, the vision's there, the field awareness is there. I wouldn't give up on Josh Rosen. I really wouldn't. Am I worried about Seattle coming here to whoop my ass again? No, I'm not worried about anything. We won a Super Bowl, so I haven't really been worried about anything since that's happened. Nicholas Paz says, do you think the Jags can make the playoffs with Minshew? Yeah, I think they can, actually. Now Nick Foles knows how Carson Wentz felt in 2017. Not really, because Nick Foles won a Super Bowl. So, I mean, it's a little bit different. Nitro, the Hawks are overrated. Team Triple G says, we'll see. Real Talk Press says Minshew, or however you say his name, is going to be what they wanted Baker Mayfield to be. Baker Mayfield is actually showing signs of he's showing signs that he could be a decent quarterback in the NFL, and that's what you want. But we'll see what happens there. Joseph Serinin, or whatever you say, is we could have drafted Minshew over Clayton. Yeah, we could have. We definitely could have, but it wouldn't have mattered because Minshew wouldn't be in over Carson Wentz right now, so it's not like it really even mattered. But I mean, yeah, I mean it's good to dream, I guess. All right, what else? I think Nicholas Paz says, I think Mayfield will be a star. He just needs a little more time to develop. I think so too. Yeah, decent because he can hand the ball off, and he sucks if he has to throw it. Yeah. Who are we talking about? Baker Mayfield? Blake Forsythe says, I'm worried about the Wentz against Cowboys. He never comes through in those games. I'm worried it continues because they have just they've had our number recently. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. I want to see how Carson Wentz performs in the game against the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm really I'm anxious for that first game. I really am, because it'll be his first time back in Dallas since that brutal loss, and we'll see what happens there. Eagles record prediction. I'm gonna go with 11-5. I think down the road we have those losses that to the Pats. I feel like we lose to the Seattle Seahawks. We lose one to the Cowboys, and the one that I think we're going to lose, believe it or not, I think we're going to lose to the Vikings. I don't know why, I just do. I think that's a game where we're just going to lose. Dalvin Cook's going to run on us. I just don't. It's just a bad vibe when it comes to that. So I think we'll be 11-5. Thoughts on Sanders progressing? I have to see a little bit more, but at the same time, I like what I saw in Green Bay. I really did. Joseph Sherney says, we get owned by the Seahawks. Yeah, we might. That might be one of those games where we just get completely butchered, but who knows? Who are your playoff teams in the AFC? Well, obviously the Patriots. The Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to go Jaguars. I can't go Houston Texans. Or can I? I'll go the Buffalo Bills. That's 4. That's a wild. Yeah, that'll be a wild card team. Now, I will go. Trying to think off the top of my head, I can't do it. The Browns and the Ravens. So I'll have 2 from the AFC North, capping it out. Those are my 6. I've heard people on the radio talking about the Army coach for Rutgers. No, I don't want it. Blake Forsythe says, do we resign Howard end of the year or cut him, make Sanders the guy? I think that's where you're going to go with, because Doug Peterson really isn't a Howard guy. He wanted to trade him the first year of the season, and it didn't come to fruition. He tried to get Melvin Gordon in here, and it just didn't happen. Darth Vader says, do you think our corners moving forward can be serviceable? Nope. JJ Arcega-Whiteside is a bum. Do I agree? Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm not going to say he's a bum because he's a rookie, but there's nothing special out of the guy that I've seen. Do you think Minshew has already taken the job from Nick Foles? Yes, 100%. Yep. As Nick Foles got hurt, he's only lucky in Philly. He's only meant to be in Philly, nowhere else. So I think that's what's going to happen. You bring in good options. Crazy. I agree. Someone stream. Yeah, bring back Shiano. I'm all for it. Nicholas Pass says, what other teams do you hate besides the Patriots and your NFC East rivals? Hate? Right now, it'd have to be the Pittsburgh Steelers because I don't like Ben Roethlisberger. I hate Ben Roethlisberger. He's a major asshole, and I believe he raped somebody. So I'm not a huge fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. Blake Forsythe says, Deshaun Jackson just brings magic to the Eagles. Him and Foles are the only players that give me that feeling. Yeah, can't disagree. Cannot disagree. 9. Okay. Wow, that wild card game is something else. 5-1. The Rays are about to move on. That's insane. It's absolutely insane. All right. All right. So what are we talking about here? Okay. Just like Oregon needs Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly needs Oregon. Yeah, I agree. Grant, thoughts on Stefon Diggs rumors that have been trended today? I think he wants out. I really do. Anyone that says they have a lingering injury when they really don't, I feel like they want out of that team, especially when his situation really hasn't been that good this year. Let's be real. He's been kind of like on and off. He wants out of there. He doesn't like Kirk Cousins. Did you hear about the Rays wanting to play games in Montreal? Yeah, I have heard that. That's really weird, actually. But they don't have a big fan base in Tampa Bay. They don't, so I can understand it. Do you think the Jags will cut Nick Foles at the end of the season? They'd have to, yeah. There's no way they're going to pay him to sit on the bench. They can't afford that like we could, you know. Can't trust Pac-12 players. Nope, never. You the GOAT player? I think you're talking to me. If you're talking to me, thank you. If not, thank you. Bring back the Expos. A lot of people want to bring back the Montreal Expos. I just don't know if that would work now. I don't know. But I'm not against it. Not against it. Okay. It's not too bad. All right. Wentz or Wilson, would you want for the rest of your career? No bias, please. Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is just that balanced quarterback that never gets hurt, and he's just a winner. You know, he's won a Super Bowl already, and yeah, I just feel like he just fits in with any team, and he thrives on broken down plays. So yeah, I would definitely take Wilson over Wentz, but Wentz is my QB, so got to ride with him. Joseph Sardine says, I label Herbert as a bust, doesn't play well in any defense, and it doesn't translate well. Yeah, I said that. The guy plays in the Pac-12. He plays for Oregon, which is a sped-up offense as it is, and it just won't translate well to the NFL at all. He's going to be a bust. If you had to relocate any NFL team to another city, which team would it be? Well, I'd have to stick with the Raiders. I think the Raiders moving out of Oakland is actually a smart move. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but being in Vegas, you know, it'll generate so much revenue. Well, not like Vegas needs revenue. Revenue. It'll generate so much revenue for the NFL. And like I don't even know what I'm saying, honestly, because now that I think about it, moving to Vegas is probably one of the more stupid ideas ever, because you're going to be having all these young kids going to Vegas and gambling their money away. It's now that I think about it, it's not a really good idea. So I'm going to go with another team. Hold on. Yeah, scratch that one. I'm going to go with another team. I'd probably relocate the Los Angeles Chargers back to San Diego, because their fans just don't show up to those games, and it just really hasn't worked out. So yeah, I'd move the Chargers back to San Diego. There was no reason to move in the first place. In Vegas, they have fucking casinos in the stadium taking live bets. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, it's not good at all. You know, in the stadium they have live bets. That's not good. Thoughts on Penn State? I at least give them a shot against Ohio State. I do too. I don't like Penn State, but Penn State looks dirty this year. Seattle Seahawks says put Russ on any team with a legit offensive line and a couple of weapons, he would tear the league up. Yep. Jonathan Joseph says, who do you think is the best cornerback on the team? This team? Overall? See, I'm biased. I mean, I'm probably going to say Avonte Maddox. I think the guy has what it takes to I like that. I like Maddox. There's just something about the guy that I like. You know, even when he performs badly, he always bounces back. There's just something about Maddox I like. You know, Jalen Mills I like as well. He's not good in the open field, but when it comes down to crunch time in the red zone, he always does his job. I like Jalen Mills a lot. But with that being said, we really, really, really need to go get a top flight cornerback. So it needs to be done. No, I actually think Ramsey's one. Ramsey is one, and Gilmore is two, but it's close. Gilmore is a very, very, very good cornerback. All right, with that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for joining the stream. I am exhausted. I'm going to be doing this every single week, at least once a week. I'll be having a special guest on every single week. And thank you for joining the stream. I hope you guys had a good time. And yeah, and Blake Forsythe, as I leave, says, unpopular opinion, Mills is clutch as hell, and you know it. Just needs to round his game. He is very clutch, and that's why I like him. All right, I'm out of here. Peace, guys. Go Birds. Big game against the Jets.